Welcome everyone to GTW Dystopia. I'm your host, Infinite Fantasy, and we're live here at Salt Lake City. And here we have the first contender for the World Heavyweight title, Jon Moxley, entering the ring. Now, I wasn't around on Brawl last Wednesday, but taking care of a personal matter, but I couldn't help but notice something I heard when I had the TV on. I believe Hercules was saying how I'm going to spend Christmas night in a hospital? You're damn right I am. You see, I'm willing to do anything to win that World Heavyweight Championship from that pretty waist of yours. Anything. You have never faced an opponent like me before. I will destroy my own body if it means beating you. At Holiday Mayhem, I may go to a hospital, but it won't be because of what you did. It will be because of what I am willing to do. And here comes the World Heavyweight Champion Hercules, looking to answer Jon Moxley here. Salt Lake City, bow before your God. You know, I am happy you're here. I am. Now I can say this to your face. What'll go on? Get whatever it is you need off your chest. You know we're the same, right? Let us call it what it is, Hercules. You're not a very good man, and neither am I. You will do whatever it is that's necessary to win, as will I. But here's the difference. You're willing to do it for power. I'm doing it for a purpose. To change what it means to be a wrestler. You're willing to do anything to me. I'm willing to do anything to us. I might end up in a hospital, but it will be with your title. And I will take you with me. I am willing to die for what I believe in. The question is, are you? There is nothing I'm not willing to do. And there's Hercules' answer. Jon Moxley laying down the challenge, telling Hercules he's willing to do just about anything. He is willing to put his body on the line. And Hercules looking to meet him. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to GTW Dystopia. I'm your host, Infinite Fantasy, and we got an amazing card for you tonight. Tonight, John Bradshaw Layfield will be getting one more one-on-one match with Faarooq as they go to settle their rivalry once and for all here tonight. We're also going to have the Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line as Jamie Hayter challenges the IC champion Megan. We're also going to have tag team action from the women's division as Kumiko Tanaka and Kana Nakano from the Syndicate take on Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. We also have word that Brenda Bison will be in the building here tonight, and we'll be hearing from the new Women's United States Champion, The Witch, as she'll be coming out tonight to address the crowd here at Salt Lake City. And then we have our main event. Sebation will be defending the Grand Tour Championship against Toni Storm. It was on Brawl on Wednesday where Sebation acknowledged that Toni Storm was screwed out of her one title shot, that she never got the title shot that she earned, and he's putting her in the front of the line here tonight. But first, let's get into tonight's opening match. "20 years in the making, these two have went at it in the beginning of the Survivor Games Gauntlet. JBL has picked up the win in an Extreme Rules match against Faarooq back at Friday Night All-Star, but now these two are looking to settle it one last time in a one-on-one match. JBL versus Faarooq, right here, right now, on And we have JBL and Faarooq staring off, going eye to eye with each other. You can see the hatred between these two, the disdain these two have each other. This is 20 years build up coming up. And here comes the bell. And Faarooq starting strong with a clothesline on the JBL. JBL immediately gaining the rope break. Faarooq starting up much stronger than he did back at Friday Night All-Star when these two faced each other in a hardcore match. And now here comes Faarooq, who has JBL against the ropes. And there's a giant stop by Faarooq onto JBL. He comes off the ropes and he goes for a big boot. JBL manages to dodge though. Faarooq not letting up though, going for a double axe handle onto the back of John Bradshaw Liquid. He attempts a Boston Crab. JBL immediately going for that rope break. And there he is, kicking Faarooq off, finally gaining a little distance between these two. And it's JBL with two open hand chops. He attempts an armbar, but Faarooq reverses. There goes Faarooq with a sidewalk slam onto John Bradshaw Layfield. And here he is, sizing him up. Here comes the Irish whip. JBL off the ropes. And a scoop slam by Faarooq. And there's JBL just raking the back on Faarooq right there. It was on Brawl where JBL is asking Faarooq exactly what it's going to take for these two to finally bury the hatchet. And they agree to go into the ring one more time, settle this like men. And you can see these two are going all out. This is not a competition, this is a personal fight between these two. And here comes JBL with the cover. 1, 2, and Faarooq kicks out. These two were once brothers. These two once best friends. Together they formed the Acolytes, the APA. And truth be told, they probably know each other's moves better than anyone. And showing right here as these two go counter for counter. JBL hammering away at Faarooq right now. And there's Faarooq off the second rope with an elbow drop. He's going for the pin. 1, 2, and Faarooq again kicks out. Faarooq started off very strong in this singles match. However, JBL now gaining the advantage and bats off the ropes. From behind, Faarooq comes in with a drop kick. And there's Faarooq with a hip toss on the Bradshaw, followed by a headbutt. And he's just completely laying on the punishment, following up again with a leg drop. And he continues with a spine buster. And here comes Faarooq, pick out JBL, what power, and he slams him face first, right into the ring. And here comes the pin. 1, 2, and then JBL gets the shoulder up. And a spinning right hook by Faarooq, taking down JBL. He is fired up. This is all but personal between these two as the two going back and forth. Strike for strike against each other. And here comes Faarooq coming in, leaning in on JBL. JBL attempting to fight back. You can see that old APA instinct coming back with both these men. These two have spent years fighting alongside each other as an undeniable force to be reckoned with in the tag team division. And here they are, enemies, rivals, worst enemies, one time best friends. JBL struggling to get to his feet. And now we got a comment from Bowling God 74. Ladies and gents, live here in Utah, are you ready? Get your kids popcorn and soda. This night is going to be awesome. And here goes Faarooq with the pin. 1, 2, and JBL kicks out. And Bowling God 74, you were absolutely correct. Tonight is completely awesome. This is definitely a popcorn and soda worthy match right here, as these two now take the fight in front of our announcer's desk. And there's JBL throwing Faarooq into the ring apron with a snake eyes. The referee calling for the count as JBL makes his way. No, he's taking off the turnbuckle pad. Still, the turnbuckle pad, the two are outside the ring. Why would he do that? And there's Faarooq being thrown to the barricade. Where Faarooq's got to get in the ring. And he gets in the nick of time. Just dodges JBL. And here comes Faarooq. About to go for an execution. And a clothesline from hell. A clothesline from hell by John Bradshaw Layfield. And with the referee's back turn, he goes for a low blow. 1, 2. Faarooq gets a shoulder up. I understand why JBL took the turnbuckle off. It was all a distraction to get that low blow on Faarooq. And there's JBL going for another clothesline, taking Faarooq's head off. Here comes the pin. 1, 2, 3, and Bradshaw gets a win once again. He is now 2 for 2. And Faarooq not looking too happy. And the two still squaring off in the ring. JBL holding out his hand. What's Faarooq gonna do? No, Faarooq is not having it. JBL trying to extend his hand of friendship once more. But Faarooq, I guess, still salty about losing. But who can blame him after that low blow done by JBL? That wasn't a clean win. The two fought hard, but in the end of the day, JBL had to cheat. He had to use a dirty tactic against his former best friend and to take up the win, and then has the goal to try and hold his hand out. Faarooq definitely not happy about this, and I have a feeling this is long from over. There you are, Brenda. What the hell were you doing on Brawl? Andre, it was bad enough Jamie Hayter replaced me. Now she loses my title. She had to pay for it. She did not lose your title. That was my title. I won that title. I won the belt along with you. Us, the Red Faction. We won them for the glory of our motherland. Jamie Hayter never earned it. She stole it while I was recovering in a hospital. I should be standing here by your side as the intergender tag team champions. On Brawl, your attempt to stop her from earning her own title match. Tonight, Jamie Hayter has a chance to win her own championship, and if you get in her way, Brenda, if you get in her way tonight, I will never, and mark my words, Brenda, I will never, ever team with you ever again. Don't you worry, comrade. I want her to win tonight. Then she can repay what she owes when I take the Intercontinental Championship from her. Welcome back, folks, and it's time for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, as Megan will be defending against the #1 contender, Jamie Hayter, right here on Dystopia.
The following is scheduled for one fall and is for the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
And here comes the challenger here tonight for the Intercontinental Championship match, Jamie Hayter. Another huge star being pulled from AEW. Recently, she has been the replacement for Brenda Bison in the Red Faction Mixed Gender Tag Team. When she was hospitalized, Andre Armstrong was given two choices: either find a partner to replace Brenda Bison so he may continue to defend the title, or have it stripped. And of course, Andre Armstrong, having no choice, went to Jamie Hayter to be Brenda Bison's substitute. However, a couple of weeks ago, on Friday Night All-Star, they end up losing the tag team titles to Damian Maximus and Rebecca Troy of the Old Gods. And now here comes the Intercontinental Champion, Megan, who had won the title months ago at Summer Bash. This will be her fourth title defense since then. And I see we now have Dark89 in the chat. Welcome, Dark. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Introducing the challenger from England, Jane Hayter. And her opponent from New York, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, Crimson Fox.
And now the two competitors looking at what's on the line. There's the prize. The Women's Intercontinental Championship is on the line here tonight. Jamie Hayter versus Megan, and who will go home with the gold here tonight? And here comes the bell. The two grapple up. Both of them known for having a very strong style. Jamie Hayter bringing Megan against the ropes as the referee braces them up. But here comes Jamie Hayter still moving in. Megan desperately throws Jamie Hayter over the top rope outside the ring. And now here she comes with a frog splash, dropping 10 feet from the air. And there's Megan with a huge splash on to Jamie Hayter. The two fighting outside the ring in front of our announcer's desk right now. Now Megan throwing Jamie Hayter, the challenger, back into the ring, and this match continues. And there's a knee buster by Megan as she goes for the pin. And Jamie Hayter kicks out before even a 1 count, still very early in this matchup. Hayter being thrown against the ropes as Megan goes for a scoop body slam. And a huge right cross by the Intercontinental Champion. The challenger in a lot of trouble here as Megan thus far has been dominating the championship match. And there she goes with a reverse spinebuster onto Jamie Hayter. With Jamie Hayter seeing stars right now, Megan makes her way to the top rope and a double axe handle onto the top of the skull of Jamie Hayter. And the challenger now with a reversal gaining the upper hand on the Intercontinental Champion. And now, here she is, waiting for Megan to get on her feet. An amazing stop, followed by an elbow drop by the challenger, Jamie Hayter. She just recently lost the intergender tag team titles that she had alongside Andre Armstrong, but now she has a chance to get some singles gold, and you can see she's taking every opportunity she can in this singles match. There's Jamie Hayter wrenching the leg of her opponent. And Megan kicking her off. Megan, known to be very brutal in the ring, not one to hold her punches. Using those heels to stomp. Jamie Hayter has a very strong style, but is a bit more practical. However, she's going to have to pull out every technique she knows if she's going to overcome this psychopath known as the Intercontinental Champion, Crimson Fox Megan. And there she is, smashing Jamie Hayter's head into the top turnbuckle. And a clothesline by Megan. And here she goes for the pin. 1, 2, and Jamie Hayter kicks out. And on Red Cross, Jamie Hayter seems to be in a lot of trouble as she took a huge bump, and out of nowhere, she comes out, digging deep inside with a huge clothesline, knocking down the champion. However, Megan still manages to kick out despite that amazing desperation move by Jamie Hayter. And another clothesline for good measure. Jamie Hayter once again going for the cover. 1, 2, and another kick out by the Intercontinental Champion. And now the two meeting outside the ring once again. About to do battle in front of our announcer's desk. You see the challenger, Jamie Hayter, not letting up. She knows the match cannot be won outside the ring. Megan has the champion's advantage. If this match ends by a countout, Megan will retain the Intercontinental Championship. Jamie has to bring this back into the ring, and she must win by either pinfall or submission if she wants to win the title here tonight. And Megan obliging her only if to lay on more punishment as she gets on that top rope, and an atomic elbow drop by the IC champion, Crimson Fox Megan. And she's going for a second. Another high-risk maneuver as she goes for the pin. Will this be enough to retain the title? No, Jamie Hayter still somehow manages to get the shoulder up, and there's a look of disbelief on Megan's face, wondering what she's gonna have to do to take Jamie Hayter and keep her down for good. And here she is in the corner, sizing her up. Megan looking to finish this match off. And a punt right to the underjaw of Jamie Hayter, knocked her clean out. And it does the trick as Megan retains the Intercontinental Championship.
Here is your winner, and still Women's Intercontinental Champion, Crimson Fox.
Another amazing title defense by Crimson Fox, knocking out Jamie Hayter with that brutal kick to the underjaw of Jamie Hayter. Unfortunately for her, it just was not her night. However, plenty of opportunities may still present itself in the future. Until then, congratulations for a successful title defense, our Intercontinental Champion, Megan. Dad, I want Dynamite, and I want him tonight. So you've been ignoring me for weeks now. You've been ignoring my messages, my calls, you avoid me backstage, and now you come to me demanding for a match. Did you not see what he did to me on Brawl? Oh, I saw. Just as I saw what you did to him the week before that. You know, it's kind of funny how you become friends with your tormentors, yet you make enemies from your friends. Father, if this is about protecting me again, on the contrary, Damien, I'm done protecting you. You want to find out the hard way? Then fine. You'll find out the hard way. How about you get your buddy Archangel in that fancy ring gear he gifted you, since what I had commissioned wasn't good enough? And you can have yourself a little tag team match here tonight against Steven Dynamite and Joe Hendry. After all, it seems tag team matches is all you can win. We're back, everyone, and looks like we're going to have another match added to our card tonight, as Steven Dynamite will now be teaming up with Joe Hendry to take on the Old Gods team of Archangel and Damian Maximus of the Old Gods. But speaking of tag team matches, we've got one coming up right now from the women's division, as we have Kumiko Tanaka and Kana Nakano of the Syndicate about to take on Kaden Carter and Katana Chance in women's tag team action right here on Dystopia.
The following is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, Impress and the Syndicate.
The Syndicate, former women's tag team champions, making their way in the ring in this tag team exhibition match. Their opponents will be Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. They had just recently, only a month ago, lost the tag team titles to the newest team in the women's division, Havoc, which is a team of Madison Page and Adrian Nevermore. They're looking to set an impression and use tonight's win to climb the ladder so they can make their way to the #1 contendership and reclaim their titles.
The team of Katana Chance and Kaden Carter.
Here's Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. These two used to wrestle back in the WWE, now here in GTW for this women's tag team bout. This is not the first time they have faced the Syndicate in the ring. However, they might have the opportunity to win against them for the first time here tonight. And it looks like we're going to start off with Kana Nakano and Kaden Carter in this women's tag team match. And there's Kaden Carter with a huge super kick. Now Irish whipping Kana into the corner. And a double super kick by this amazing tag team, taking Kana down. Katana Chance now being tagged as a legal woman, taking down Kana. Kana being Irish whipped into the corner as Katana Chance now tags in Kaden Carter. There goes another double team move by these two women. And amazing teamwork by Katana Chance and Kaden Carter here. Kana seems to be in a massive amount of trouble as these two women so far have been dominating this tag team match. Kaden Carter attempting an atomic elbow drop, but Kana moves out of the way just in the nick of time. And Kana now tagging in Kumiko Tanaka. And the Syndicate going for a double Irish whip, followed by a double tackle taking down Kaden Carter. And it's Kumiko Tanaka coming off the ropes with a high-risk maneuver as she goes for the cover. 1, 2, but Katana Chance breaks up the count. And there's a huge right knee by Kumiko, but Kaden Carter manages to reverse using an arm drag. She misses the moonsault. Kumiko now taking advantage as she goes for the Irish whip and a huge underhook right into the gut of Kaden Carter. Kumiko Tanaka is known for her expertise in martial arts, and you can see it in those powerful strikes. Now tagging in Kana. Kana Nakano going for a jawbreaker over the second rope there, knocking Kaden Carter outside the ring. The two now fighting by the barricade, very close to the audience in the front row section. Kana now throwing Kaden Carter back into the ring. And Kaden Carter with a tackle onto Kana. Here goes the Irish whip, throwing Kana into the turnbuckle. Kaden Carter now tags in Katana Chance. Another double team move by these two women. What teamwork by Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Kana once again seems to be taking a beating in this tag team match as she's thrown to the corner. Katana Chance now tagging in Kaden Carter. And a double super kick by the two. Kana desperately needs to tag in Kumiko Tanaka if they're going to have a chance at winning this tag team match. The teamwork between Kaden Carter and Katana Chance is just too well in sync. You can see Kana desperately leaping across the ring, tagging in Kumiko Tanaka. However, Kaden Carter manages to intercept her, catching her in mid-strike. And there's Kumiko Tanaka saying, "You're not going to get any more." With an MMA move, she grabs the kick, taking her down, and with one single hit, knocks her out. Here comes the cover. 1, but Kaden Carter kicks out. And there's a belly-to-belly by Kumiko Tanaka, now tagging in Kana. And Kana Nakano, now with a Rolling Thunder, you ain't making her way to the top rope. And here she comes with a flying moonsault right onto Kaden Carter as she goes for the cover. 1, 2, but Katana Chance breaks up the pin. There's an underhook German suplex by Kana, taking out Katana Chance, leaving Kaden Carter alone against the Syndicate in this tag team match. There's Kana coming in with an arm drag. And there she is, slamming Kaden Carter into the top turnbuckle. She has her pin. Kaden Carter throwing an elbow to fight her way out. Kana going for a dodge. As reversal after reversal between these two, Kaden Carter with a cross body splash onto Kana. And she goes for the pin. 1, 2. But Kana manages to kick out. Now Kana being Irish into the corner. Kaden Carter tagging in Katana Chance. And the teamwork between these two is absolutely beautiful. We're not seeing the same from the Syndicate here. It's almost like the two have lost a step ever since losing the tag team titles to Havoc. Katana Chance now makes the tag to Kenny Carter. The teamwork between these two is just absolutely beautiful. Oh my god. The impact on that had the whole arena shaking. You see Kaden Carter working on the inner leg of Katana Chance. Now going for a figure 4 leg lock. And she has it locked in. Kana desperately trying to get to the ropes. And there's Kumiko Tanaka breaking up the submission. Kaden Carter responds with a dropkick, taking down Kumiko Tanaka. You have Kana knocked out in the middle of the ring. Kaden Carter now tags in Katana Chance. The two double team on Kumiko Tanaka. Kumiko Tanaka now taking out the match. Kana is alone here. She's doing all she can to fight back as she goes on the offensive. Going for the pin on Katana Chance. 1, 2, but Katana Chance kicks out. And it's Katana Chance sweeping the leg of Kana. Kana rolls out of the ring. A very smart move on her part, allowing herself to get a second to breathe. But not for long as Katana Chance chases her outside the ring. And now a very weak Kana is now alone with Kaden Carter. And Carter going for the finisher move. And here she goes, reapplying the figure 4 leg lock onto Kana. Kana's in the middle of the ring. She has nowhere to go, nowhere to grab the rope. And Kaden Carter letting go. Looks like she has another idea in mind. What is this twisted mind thinking as she comes up the ropes with a cross body splash onto Kana? And now she goes for the pin. 1, 2, and Kana somehow kicks out. I can't blame for Kaden Carter to be reacting the way she is. I can't believe it myself after the beating that Kana has taken. And there's Kaden Carter tagging in Katana Chance. Katana Chance now on that second rope. Flying arm drag. Now tags in her partner. And now it's just a devastating dropkick as Katana Chance holds Kana in place. Telling you, these two are in rare form today. And Kana with a desperate pile driver on a Kaden Carter. 1, but Katana Chance breaks up the pin. That might have been Kana's only chance to get a 3 onto Kaden Carter. Now finally making the tag to Kumiko Tanaka. And there's Kumiko Tanaka with a scoop body slam. Kaden Carter rolling out of the ring. And a nice maneuver, tricking Kumiko Tanaka, keep her on her feet, rolls into the pin. 1, Kumiko Tanaka kicks out the fresher out of the two members of the Syndicate in this match. And Carter throwing Kumiko Tanaka into the corner. She makes the tag to Katana Chance. And a double super kick by Kaden Carter and Katana Chance here. He goes for the sweep. And Tanaka takes her down with a clothesline. Kumiko has her in the corner, tagging in Kana. The Syndicate going for a double team move. And Kana being launched like a missile. Kumiko Tanaka as the missile launcher. We still have more tag team action to come after this, as we just found out that Steven Dynamite will be teaming up with Joe Hendry here tonight against Damian Maximus and Archangel of the Old Gods, which is going to be quite an amazing spectacle to see Joe Hendry and Steven Dynamite teaming up in tag team action here tonight. And don't forget, we still have our main event. Here they come, as we have Sebation defending the Grand Tour Championship against the timeless Toni Storm. There's Kane Carter rolling Kumiko Tanaka into a pin. One, and Tanaka manages to kick out. And once again, Tanaka managing to kick out here. Here comes Kana, now the legal woman, finally getting some much needed rest, coming in with a German suplex on Katana Chance. You can see the bruises all over Kana. Katana Chance outside the ring with a facebuster on Tanaka. However, she made the mistake of taking her eye off the ball as Kana comes in from behind. She rolls Katana Chance back into the ring. And here comes the cover. Kaden Carter breaks up the pin. Here grapple up, Katana Chance throwing Kana against the ropes. And another jawbuster by Katana Chance. And then she goes taking Kana right off her feet. The crowd going wild here at Salt Lake City. Katana Chance off the top rope. Shooting star press. However, Kana rolls out of the way. Nobody home. Katana Chance uses that amazing combo, taking down Kana. She makes the tag to Kaden Carter here. Here she comes with a high-risk maneuver, landing with a leg drop onto Kana. Once again, Kaden Carter makes the tag. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter with a double super kick, taking Kana out. And here comes Katana Chance measuring up, looking to finish this match off. Will this be enough? One, but another save by Tanaka as she breaks up the count. And that was an impressive move, if I do say so myself. I don't know how much more punishment Kana can take in this match. Katana Chance coming off the ropes, rolling thunder. Tanaka now knocked out of the ring. This could be their chance to get the win. Katana Chance tags in Kaden Carter, keeping the rotation going. Midsection Hurricane by Kaden Carter. And now here she is. She smells the blood in the water. And there's Kaden Carter with the finisher for the win. 1, 2. But somehow Kana still manages to kick out. Okay, Carter once again going for that figure 4 leg lock. Kana manages to turn over and get herself out of the maneuver. Kaden Carter looking to tag in Katana Chance. And here comes Katana Chance, making her way to the top rope. Shooting star press, and this time it lands for the win. 1, 2, 3. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter pick up the win in tonight's tag team match.
Here are your winners, the team of Katana Chance and Kaden Carter.
An impressive victory by these two here tonight. They took things to a new level. This might be the first time out of the many times they faced the Syndicate in a match, the first time they have ever been able to defeat them. And we still got more tag team action coming up, as we have Steven Dynamite teaming up with Joe Henry against the Old Gods. And still to come our main event, Sebation defending the Grand Tour title against the timeless Toni Storm. However, coming up next, we have word that the new Women's U.S. Champion, The Witch, will be coming out to the ring to address the crowd here at Salt Lake City. That's all still to come. Don't go anywhere. We're just going to have a quick 2-minute break. We still got more exciting action here on GTW Dystopia. Rachel Rodriguez, the new Women's Champion. Yet you never beat the Women's Champion to earn it. No. Instead, I went to 7 other women to call myself champion. But when you are no longer a handicap, I'll be more than happy to give you a shot. Cute. Very cute. It will not be long before I am cleared. First, I have a personal matter to attend to. But when I am done, with the first woman to replace me, understand, I'm coming for the second. And that title. Welcome back, everyone, and we have the U.S. Champion, The Witch, making her way to the ring. Two weeks ago, I've earned the right to call myself the Women's United States Champion. Or so I thought. If you ask my father, a title is never earned simply by winning it, but retaining it. Defending the title is what makes you a champion. And he is right. My father never backed down from a challenge, and neither does my big brother. That is why, starting on Brawl, every week, I will hold an open challenge and defend my United States Championship. This Wednesday, I will be in the ring with my gear on. First come, first serve. Whoever wants a shot will get one. Like my brother and my father, I am a fighting champion. And there we go, a huge announcement by The Witch. Starting this Wednesday on Brawl, The Witch will be holding an open challenge for the U.S. title every week. That's going to be an amazing event coming up. However, not as amazing as this match we're about to have. We got tag team action. Steven Dynamite and Joe Henry teaming up to take on Archangel and Damian Maximus of the Old Gods, right here on Dystopia.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. Introducing first, from Long Island, New York, weighing in at 214 pounds, the Chosen One, Steven Dynamite!
Now everyone asks, why is he called Steven Dynamite? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the answer is... And also, boom. Some used to call him the underdog, but now he is known as the Chosen One, Steven Dynamite, the man who goes against all odds, no matter how big, no matter how powerful, no matter how skilled the opponents are. He always seems to find a way to come out on top. The former Grand Tour champion, now coming into this ring in his dream tag team match as he's about to team up with Joe Hendry. This is the man with integrity who always stands for what is right in the ring. And if there's one thing Steven Dynamite cannot stand, it's a bully. And that's who he's about to face right now. The Old Gods, nothing but bullies, who have gone around terrorizing GTW, and here he is, ready to take a stand here tonight.
And his partner, from Edinburgh, Scotland, weighing in at 231 pounds, Joe Hendry!
Ladies and gentlemen, say his name and he shall appear. I believe in Joe Hendry. This man was teaming up with Timeless Toni Storm as they were attempting to become #1 contenders for the intergender tag team champions. After losing the match, the two were brutally assaulted by the Old Gods. The following show, Joe Hendry going one-on-one with Archangel end up suffering a 3-on-1 assault by the very same faction. Toni Storm has gotten a bit of payback on behalf of Joe Hendry on Wednesday Night Brawl. However, tonight it's Joe Hendry's turn as he goes to team up with the Chosen One himself, Steven Dynamite. And that's right, Bowling God, say his name and he'll appear. Lights are bright and the holidays are here. This match is going to be epic.
From Boise, Idaho, weighing in at 266 pounds, Archangel!
Here comes Archangel being accompanied to the ring by Rebecca Troy. He's going to be one half of the Old Gods here in this tag team match. Archangel also considered to be the right hand of Hercules, the muscle of the group, the enforcer of the Old Gods, and that's exactly what he's here to do tonight, enforce. the Archangel of Hercules, is in the ring here tonight.
And from New York, weighing in at 163 pounds, Damian Maximus!
And here comes the newest member of the Old Gods and one half of the Intergender Tag Team Champions, Damian Maximus. I can see that the belts have been left behind in the back tonight for Elliot. Sorry, not Elliot. Damian Maximus, as he now calls himself. This is about a personal matter. After that fight between him and Steven Dynamite last Wednesday on Raw, he's looking to get revenge. Steven Dynamite, he once considered to be a good friend. And if you ask him, it was Steven Dynamite who turned his back on him. But if you ask me, I think it's Damian Maximus who needs to be taught a lesson here tonight. And here he is entering the ring with that fancy ring gear, as his father would call it. He has completely renounced his family's name, joining the very people who used to torment them. Going under the philosophy, if you cannot beat the bullies, you join them. And look at him, he's so full of himself. He has 2 wins under his belt, and now he thinks he's the best wrestler here in GTW, and I can't wait for Steven Dynamite to punch his lights out. It looks like we're going to start off with Archangel and Steven Dynamite in this tag team match. We got another comment by Bowling God. Amazing wrestling and awesome commenting. Now let's get ready to rumble. I said, are you ready? I know I am. Oh, I am definitely ready, Bowling God. I am so ready for this match right now. However, it seems Steven Dynamite might be at a bit of a loss here, as Archangel has the advantage in the opening of his tag team match. And here he is, putting in a camel clutch onto Steven Dynamite. Dynamite grabbing the ankle and manages to slip his way out, taking him down, followed by a hurricanrana by the chosen one, Steven Dynamite. He comes off with a moonsault, and it lands. Steven Dynamite now tagging his partner, Joe Hendry. You say his name and he shall appear, and here he comes, stomping on the ribs of Archangel. He has Archangel now in an armbar. And here he goes with that joint manipulation onto Archangel, and boom, double knees into the spine of Archangel. Here comes the pin, 1, and Archangel kicks out still very early in this tag team match. And still to come, we have our main event tonight. Sebation defending the Grand Tour title against the timeless Toni Storm. It was Archangel himself who hospitalized Toni Storm, assaulting her in the backstage area right before Summer Bash, when it was supposed to be her going one-on-one with Steven Dynamite for the Grand Tour title back in August. And she never got her title shot that she earned through a tournament. And Sebation looking to correct that tonight, as he now putting Toni Storm at the front of the line for those who want to challenge him for the most prestigious title in GTW history. A title that is not separated or divided by divisions, weight class, or gender. It is to represent the absolute best wrestler in every roster here in Grand Tour Wrestling. And that is what's going to be on the line in tonight's main event. We now have Damian Maximus in the ring against Joe Henry. And here he comes with a neck breaker and you can just see Joe Henry's body convulse as Damian Maximus lands that move. It's a double axe handle, but Joe Henry manages to roll all the way, no way home, and he comes back with a high risk of his own, taking down Damian Maximus. You see Rebecca Troy in the corner of the Old Gods here tonight. The new tag team partner of Damian Maximus. Together, they won the intergender tag team titles. And here's Dynamite. Looking for a temporary submission hold. Damian slipping his way out. And there's Steven Dynamite. Amazing maneuver. Now here he is in the ring with Archangel. Archangel going for the Irish Whip. And an underhook punch onto Steven Dynamite. And he follows up with a clothesline, nearly knocking his head off. And there's Steven Dynamite just being brutally assaulted by Archangel here. Here he comes with an Irish Whip, knocking Dynamite into the referee. And now he has Steven Dynamite slamming him into the turnbuckle. And they both make the tag. Joe Henry and Damian Maximus back in the ring, both the legal men. And what a maneuver by Damian Maximus. There's no doubt, as much as I hate his attitude, I cannot deny how much he's improved ever since training under Archangel and Hercules. Here comes Joe Henry going for the pins. Damian Maximus kicking out. Joe Henry with those knees to the midsection. Now throwing those hard left hands, those heavy left hands. Doing what he can to try and weaken, knock out Damian Maximus. And there's a knee right into the face of Damian. Joe Henry now with an Irish Whip and a Superman punch, taking down Maximus. With another Irish Whip, Maximus reverses. Joe Henry off the ropes. He grabs the rope to stop the momentum. And now he goes for another Irish Whip, and Damian Maximus reverses. He throws him over the rope. Joe Henry knocking Archangel off the ring apron, only to be the victim of a European uppercut by Damian Maximus. And it looks like Joe Henry once again taking control of this match. And there's Rebecca Troy outside the ring, distracting Joe Henry right now. Joe Henry taking his eye right off the ball thanks to the distraction of Rebecca Troy. And a DDT by Damian Maximus. And what is he doing? Looks like he's setting him up. And RKO by Damian Maximus taking down Joe Henry. However, Steven Dynamite breaks up the pin. You see that Damian Maximus is not happy about that. He thought he had Joe Henry dead to rights. Steven Dynamite luckily able to break up the pin. And now Joe Henry going for the reversal onto Damian. And a clothesline by Joe Henry. Here comes the pin. One. And Damian Maximus kicks out. Here comes Joe Henry. Now sizing him up. And there's a GTS. Here comes the pin. 1, 2, and Archangel this time breaking up the pin. Joe Henry now tagging in Steven Dynamite. Damian Maximus jumping right on top of him, throwing those right hands. There goes an open hand chop. And a sweep by Damian Maximus, taking Steven Dynamite down to the mat. You can just see the aggression behind the newest member of the Old Gods here. You can see how personal this is for Damian as he goes for those aggressive moves, those aggressive attacks onto the chosen one, Steven Dynamite. And Dynamite finally ready to fight back. Fighting fist with fist here as he goes for the cover. 1, 2, and Maximus kicks out. Dynamite now go for an arch with Damien in the corner. He tags in Joe Henry as the two go for a double team move. Steven Dynamite launches Joe Henry off the top rope like a missile and a full-on shoulder tackle, taking down Damian Maximus. Maximus seems to be in a lot of trouble. He's going to have to make the tag to Archangel. And there he is with a clothesline. And there's the tag. Archangel, now the legal man in this tag team match. And a Superman punch by Archangel, now going for the pin. 1, 2. That was an impressive Superman punch. No doubt a move he picked up from his master, Hercules. And now he's setting him up. Archangel looking to go for that finisher move. And Joe Henry sees it coming as he reverses and gets a spear. Spear by Joe Henry. 1, but no, Damian Maximus breaks up the count. It was a good effort. Joe Henry now throwing Damian Maximus out of the ring. Turning his attention to Archangel. And a powerbomb by Joe Henry. You can see the whole arena shaking after that move. As a giant kick by Joe Henry. He tags in Steven Dynamite. And there's Damian Maximus attacking Steven Dynamite from behind. Dynamite doing his best to stay focused on Archangel despite the cheap shot by Damian Maximus. And another cheap shot by Damian Maximus. This time, clearly knocking Steven Dynamite out as he lingers onto that corner. And Archangel slamming Steven Dynamite into the turnbuckle. You see Dynamite trying to fight back. He's going for those open hand chops. And here comes a reverse suplex by Steven Dynamite.
There's the tag.
And now here he is, tagging in Joe Henry. A much needed tag. Henry coming in fresh. Moonsault onto Archangel. There's Joe Henry rolling with the elbows. And another spear. He goes for the pin. 1, 2. But Archangel again gets the shoulder up. This tag team match continues. Archangel attempting a spear. Joe Henry reverses. Archangel gets the tag. Damian Maximus down the ring. Archangel knocked out clean outside. Joe Henry now making the tag to Steven Dynamite. This was not a tag that was needed. Steven Dynamite screaming at Joe Henry, get me in the ring. I want to take him on. You can see how personal it is between these two. And here comes Damian Maximus setting Steven Dynamite up. And here comes another RKO. Steven Dynamite reverses. Will Barrel DDT. 1, 2, and Maximus kicks out. There's another dropkick by Steven Dynamite. And Archangel attacking Dynamite from behind. And you can see the focus from the Chosen One as he's trying to keep his eye on the ball here. Trying to ignore Archangel. Trying to stay focused on his opponent. He attacks Joe Henry. Double team move as they do an Irish whip. And a double hip toss by the team of Steven Dynamite and Joe Henry. And he comes off that top rope. And it looks like he might have hurt himself on that landing. Damian Maximus seems to be in a lot of trouble. Joe Henry with that super backhand.
There's the tag.
He makes the tag to Steven Dynamite. And there's a drop kick by Steven Dynamite. Maximus outside the ring using a European uppercut to knock out Joe Henry. He's now ensuring that, and Steven Dynamite being distracted by Rebecca Troy. This is a perfect setup by the old gods here. as Damien comes from behind with a German suplex. No Joe Henry to save him. 1, 2. Steven Dynamite gets the kick out though. You have Rebecca Troy deploy a distraction while Joe Henry gets knocked outside the ring. But Steven Dynamite still resilient as ever. And a Swanton bomb. And this, folks, is why he's called the Chosen One. And there's Archangel breaking out the pin. Steven Dynamite nearly damn had it right there. There's a gut buster by Steven Dynamite. You can see the bruises all over his face. And what's he doing here? Steven Dynamite tuning up the band. And no, and there's Archangel intercepting, stopping him from using the sweet chin music. And a massive avalanche neckbreaker by Damian Maximus thanks to the distraction of Archangel. If Steven Dynamite could have landed that sweet chin music, that could have been the match right there. And now here comes Damian Maximus slamming Steven Dynamite onto the ring apron. Now they're taking the match outside the ring as the referee begins to count. You can just see just how personal this is for Damian Maximus as he's slowly picking him apart. Kick after kick, just trying to embarrass him. And now he's attacking Joe Henry, slamming him onto the ring apron. Evidently, that move, taking out Joe Henry, might have restarted the count, buying Steven Dynamite a little more time outside the ring. You can just see how brutal Damian Maximus is on Steven Dynamite right now, trying to break his hand. And there he is in the ring. Looks like he's trying to win this by a countout. Steven Dynamite's up though. And he's back in the ring. This match continues. Steven Dynamite going for the pin. Damian Maximus getting a little too cocky there, but he kicks out. And here comes Dynamite going out of it. Maximus goes to reverse. And as Steven Dynamite gets thrown to the corner, you have Archangel attacking him from behind. And you just see how bruised and battered Dynamite is right now. And there he is, fighting outside the ring. Rebecca Troy getting in the fray, and Rebecca Troy getting involved. The referee didn't see it. The referee did not see the outside interference. What she did, she just threw Rebecca Troy out. Rebecca Troy now banned from ringside. She just got caught by the ref, and the referee telling Rebecca Troy she has to leave the ring now. No, I think I was mistaken. Rebecca Troy is refusing to leave the ringside. The old gods do exactly as they please. And there's a drop kick by Steven Dynamite into the corner of the ring. He throws Damian Maximus in the corner, tags in Joe Henry. And here comes a double team maneuver as Steven Dynamite launches Joe Henry off the top rope. And a moonsault by Joe Henry. Henry now making his way to the top turnbuckle. He's waiting for Damian Maximus to get to his feet. He's measuring his opponent. Iris maneuver, Superman punch. A Superman punch right off the top rope by Joe Henry. And this match has completely turned around as soon as Steven Dynamite got the tag. And as soon as the fresher of the two men, Joe Henry got in the ring. This match completely turned around. There's a spear. And here comes the pin. 1, 2, and somehow, some way, Damian Maximus still manages to kick out. Here comes the Irish Whip. Joe Henry going for a spear. Maximus sees it coming this time and reverses the attack. And there's a Samoan drop by Damian Maximus. Now tagging in his partner Archangel. And here's Archangel with those rolling elbows. And a GTS. He's going for the pin. Steven Dynamite able to break it up. And there's Joe Henry with a knee to Archangel. Now tags in Steven Dynamite. Dynamite hopefully a little wrestled, a little fresh, but no, not at all, as Archangel comes out of nowhere with a big boot, knocking the Chosen One down. Steven Dynamite counters the rolling elbows. And there's the executioner by Steven Dynamite. And now you can see that he's trying to figure out what to do with Archangel here. What's the best way to approach this match? And here he is, the Chosen One, going for another one of his high-risk maneuvers. Frog splash. He's going for the pin. And Damian Maximus breaks up the count. Steven Dynamite going for another high-risk Swanton Bomb, and it lands. Another pin for the win. 1, 2, 3, and he wins.
Here are your winners. The Chosen One, Steven Dynamite and Joe Henry.
An amazing win by the Chosen One, Steven Dynamite and Joe Henry. That was an incredible match, folks, and a well-earned victory. Damian Maximus, you wanted this. You wanted Steven Dynamite tonight, and you got him. And you guys got exactly what you deserved here tonight. However, we're not done just yet. We still have our main event coming up. The Grand Tour title on the line. Sebation will be defending against the timeless Toni Storm. Coming up next after a quick break. Don't go away. Our main event is coming up. Hey Dio, I had a lot of fun with you and the Witch on Wednesday. I also want to say good luck tonight against Toni Storm tonight. Thank you, Amanda. And when we win tonight, we're going back out and we're celebrating. I look forward to it. Now go out there and win. Welcome back, folks. It's time for tonight's main event. The Grand Tour Championship is on the line. Sebation, after winning the Grand Tour title against Hercules in a steel cage, will be going through his first title defense. Toni Storm, winning a tournament back in the summer, was supposed to be the #1 contender for the Grand Tour title. It was supposed to be her facing off against Steven Dynamite at Summer Bash. However, thanks to the scrutiny interference and the backstage assault from Archangel and the Old Gods, that title match never came to fruition. Which is why Sebation is looking to set things right tonight and putting Toni Storm at the front of the line. Ladies and gentlemen, Grand Tour title, Sebation, Toni Storm, coming up right here, main event for Dystopia.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Grand Prix Championship.
And here comes the challenger for tonight, the timeless Toni Storm, making her way to the ring. This is a long overdue title shot for one of the greatest women to do it in the sport. A former women's AEW champion. Now here in the GTW, looking to once again hold the gold, but not just for the women's division, but the championship that states that you are the greatest of all time. The Grand Tour title is not separated by weight class, divisions, or gender. However, despite the intentions of the title, if Toni Storm wins tonight, she will be the first woman to ever hold this championship belt. This is not a personal match. This is all about the competition. This is all about seeing who is the best. Here he comes, folks. The Grand Tour champion. After defeating Hercules in the steel cage at Friday Night All-Star, he is now ready to defend the title for the first time here tonight. He is the first person in the Sebation family to ever hold this belt. And being the fighting champion he is, has decided to give Toni Storm the first chance to be the first to challenge him. As he said in his own words, Toni Storm, you are in the front of the line. The question is, who will come on top? Who will walk away with the gold tonight? Will it be the timeless Toni Storm or the demon, Sebation?
Introducing the challenger. From Gold Coast, Australia, Toni Storm. From New York, weighing in at 246 pounds, the Grand Prix champion, the Demon, Sebation.
And there he is, holding the title high and proud. There he is, looking at it for what could possibly be the last time. And Toni Storm, taking a look at the prize, seeing what's on the line here tonight. This is not about a personal rival. This is not about a war. This is a competition between two athletes to find out who is the best here in Grand Tour Wrestling. One of the top male wrestlers facing one of the top female wrestlers right here tonight, as the two competitors now grapple up in the middle of the ring in this mixed gender match. And the referee now breaking it up. This deal with Sebation with a huge right cross. Toni Storm with a receipt. And an uppercut by Toni Storm, nearly knocking Dio off his feet. Not one, not two, but here comes 3 bumps by Toni Storm. You can see that she's definitely into this match. The two now grappling up. Sebation using his strength to his advantage as he throws Toni Storm and comes in with a clothesline. And another clothesline by Sebation. Toni Storm is not as strong or as powerful as Sebation, and is going to have to rely on her agility and nimbleness to outmaneuver him if she's going to have any chance of winning this match here tonight. Meanwhile, Sebation showing off that raw power as he just held Toni Storm 10 feet in the air over his head. And there's Toni Storm using that nimble agility, using that arm takedown to throw off the champion. Sebation using that kick to throw off Toni Storm. We have a classic power of agility versus strength in this match. And a spinning right hook by the champion, Sebation. And now here he is, wrenching the arm of the challenger, Toni Storm here. She's desperately trying to find a way out of it. Sebation going for the pin. And Toni Storm kicking out before even a 1 count. Now going for the Irish whip. And a spine buster by the Grand Tour champion. Right now, it seems Sebation is dominating in this championship match. Toni Storm struggling to get to her feet. Going for the Irish whip. He goes under. And an elbow strike by the Grand Tour champion. And now, there he is, wrenching the shoulder. Toni Storm with an amazing reversal, though, sweeping Sebation off his feet. A very well-placed strategy by the timeless Toni Storm. And now she has him knocked out of the ring. has the champion's advantage. The title cannot change hands via ring out or disqualification. If Toni Storm wants to win that title, whoa, what is she doing here? She's on the barricade. And she does a double axe handle right off the barricade, standing right near the crowd. I was about to say, if Toni Storm wants to win the championship, she needs to get Dio in the ring, but that was actually a very good strategy by the challenger, the timeless Toni Storm. Dio now going for the pin, and Toni Storm kicks out. And what raw power by the Grand Tour champion, Dio Sebation. Toni Storm has had a nice couple tricks up her sleeve. However, Dio just seems to be too powerful for her right now. Remember, this is a man who managed to go toe-to-toe with the 345 muscle-bound World Heavyweight Champion Hercules. And there's Dio with a clothesline. And here comes the pin. This could be the end of the title match right here. But no, again, Toni Storm kicks out. No matter what Dio throws at her, Toni Storm refuses to give up. And now Dio looking to finish things off with a choke slam. Could this be it? 1, 2, and again, Toni Storm kicks out. You can start seeing there's a little frustration from Dio right now as he's wondering what it's going to take to keep her down for a 3. Dio now on the second rope, frog splash. Dio now contemplating what to do here. Here's an Irish whip, and Toni Storm with a reversal. She's attempting a body slam, but Dio's just too big for her. And there's a snake eyes onto the top turnbuckle. And look at that raw power by the Grand Tour champion, Dio Sebation. Here he comes off the ropes, drop kick from behind. He has her trapped in the corner, using the knee as leverage. And there he goes, slamming her head into the top turnbuckle. He brings her to the top rope. Toni Storm kicking him off. She's going to fight back. Toni Storm using all of her body weight to slam into Dio, using everything she has to keep him down. She's going for the pin for the championship. 1, 2, and Dio kicks out on 2. Here comes Toni Storm with overhand chop. He's now going for the pin. 1, 2, and Dio again kicks out. And the two taking the fight outside the ring here. Once again, Toni Storm needs to keep this in the ring if she wants to win the championship belt. And now she goes for the Irish whip. Sebation now in the corner. Toni Storm on the offense. Now has the advantage over Sebation. And here she goes. Here's straight jabs. And it looks like Dio's actually taking punishment here. And there's a sweep attack by Toni Storm. She's setting him up. Toni Storm looking to put this one away. And a double axe handle by the timeless Toni Storm. And a brilliant strategy by the challenger here as she's looking to weaken the legs, weaken the knees of the champion Dio. She can keep him on the ground. She can keep him from standing up. She could have a fighting chance here. And now there's Toni Storm with an ankle lock. She's got Sebation an ankle lock in a submission hold. Dio has nowhere to go. And what's this? And Dio coming in like the demon he is. And a chokeslam by Sebation. Here comes the pin. 1, 2, and Toni Storm still somehow finds a way to kick out. Dio now on the top rope, waiting for Toni Storm to get to her feet. He attempted a high-risk maneuver, an amazing counter by Toni Storm. She goes for a scoop slam mid-air. Here she comes, using the ropes leverage with a wheelbarrow DDT. And here it comes for the title. And Dio kicks out on 2. Gotta give it to Toni Storm, using a lot of handy tricks, making a great comeback in this title match. Now putting Sebation in a sharpshooter, and Dio tapped out. I don't believe it. Dio actually tapped out.
Here is your winner, and new
Toni Storm wins.
Grand Prix champion, Toni Storm.
I don't believe it. Dio actually tapped out. Toni Storm is the first woman to win the Grand Tour title. What an upset victory here tonight. He was in total control of that whole match, but then she came out of nowhere, working on the legs, and I guess it was too much between all those knee attacks. That sharpshooter ended up being the end of Sebation, and Toni Storm is the new Grand Tour champion. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Infinite Fantasy signing out. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. As always, may your fantasies be infinite. Latest GTW content is coming to you. As always, may your fantasies be infinite.